you know, and I think it's pushing some limits, and that's what should make it stand out.
Well, this definitely sounds like a big production to me, regardless of no budget or budget, and just your creativity behind it and so forth. So I definitely see this going places, and I know you're excited about that as well too.
Well, I think everybody that who was involved in the film, one thing I really go out of my way is to make sure everybody is proud that they worked on this movie. And at the end of the day, everybody's like, "Wow, that was something great." I mean, a lot of people will come out locally or whatever, "Hey, wow, I'll give you this, or I'll do this for you, or I'll bust ass for you." But two things you don't want to happen is, "Wow, I was part of a movie that sucks," and it's like, "Okay, that was fun. I killed some time." And second, you push really hard to get it out there, because if somebody did all that work, they want to get seen, and we got. God, it just keeps growing. Like, we just picked up some more music. I have a composer in England, as an example. We picked up 4 bands from Australia that are all really up and coming, really strong bands, and Gretchen Lewis and Fast Track and Cafe Medulla, and locally a young group here. I'm trying to work them in. They're just young kids, and I'm like, if I can find a place, because if it might help them, it gives them bragging rights at least, and it's fantastic for me. I mean, so we're creating a soundtrack. Gwen Hughes with the Retro Jazz Cats just gave me an amazing song, and I have a girl in L.A., San Francisco, named Katie J, who is anchoring our soundtrack. So I mean, we're pushing on every level, and our acting is strong. I was able to bring in an actor who runs the Stella Adler Theater, one of the most famous acting studios in the world, on Hollywood Boulevard. I mean, he runs the theater, Stan Harrington, and he came in, and I met him at a film festival that we won, and at the time he was like, "God, I'm just so impressed with your work," and he's like, "If I can ever play a little part, I promise I'll kill it. If I'm a bad guy, I'll kill it." And it just came up, and I sent him the script, and I called him. I said, "Stan, I have this role for you." And he's like, "Dude, I work all the, I can't take a week or 2 weeks off." And I mean, come on. So I sent it to him. He called me back like an hour and a half later, and he goes, "Anything, anything." And he actually, almost got fired. He came here for over 30 days, and I put him up, and he did. He killed it, and I actually brought him back again, and he's out promoting it, and he's a filmmaker himself. He's won dozens and dozens of awards, and but he does a great job. And locally, we have, I mean, a who's who of Atlanta actors are in this film. Right. So, I mean, if they're working, most of them are in this movie somewhere. So, and I was really happy with my kind of discovery, Whitney Solons, and I think as an ingenue, she'll get out there and people go, "Wow, well, who's that?" I mean, even in our trailer in L.A., people were like, you're showing all this kick-ass action, all this great stuff, and they go, "Yeah, who's the girl?" You're like, "Come on, man, watch that, watch the fight." And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great. Who's the girl? And I'm like, so I should just be her manager and make some money. But
On all areas, you'll definitely have your hands in it. So tell us, Kelly, what's your plans for this film? What are you going to do with this film?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't even know on some levels. And my backer on this film is a man named Brad Fallon. And Brad is, if you look on Google, coolest guy on the planet, he's the number one. If you look up coolest guy, I think he's number one. But he's an internet marketing guru and travels around the world and teaches individuals and huge Fortune 500 corporations how to establish a presence on the web. So it will be interesting. I know he's really excited about the movie, but he's got his hands in 50 other businesses and projects. But it will be very interesting to see, do we try to do a brick and mortar, a typical four-wall situation? Do we just try to take it to a distributor and let them take it on? Or do we hands-on and figure out how to get it out there? And, Brad is known as literally an internet genius, a marketing genius. And it'll be interesting to see him put his talents here. It's the first time that I've been involved in a project that I actually haven't worried about what's going to happen, because I know it's be some off the wall opportunities I've never heard of before. And I don't know, I don't think it'll make millions. I mean, I'm not dreaming of that. I mean, that seems far-fetched, but I think it'll get out there. I think that it'll make a lot of money. I think a lot of people will get to see it. And hopefully it inspires people, other filmmakers, in that respect. I mean, I'm brought in to do some speaking here and there, stuff like that. And that's what I push. It's just, push, 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 I mean, I read a saying the other day, and I think it's just about perfect. And it's like, being great is not enough. That's just the price of entry now. I mean, there's so many talented people out there. And one of the things, I mean, I'll just leave it with the fact that what happens is a lot of people compromise. And we're compromising to ourselves. And it's like, if it's not even good enough for us, then how can it be good enough for anybody, So, I mean, my competition is, Tarantino and Rodriguez and Tony Scott. And I mean, that's what I want my competition. And I'm happy to jump in and step in and compete. And just because I have no money, no one's ever heard of me, that doesn't mean much yet. So, I'm like, that doesn't mean my work shouldn't compete. And so just trying to make a great movie, and we'll see what happens. We'll do the festival circuit. Okay. We'll start doing reviews and interviews with people like RULE Hollywood, and we'll just let people know what it is, and hopefully it'll build some grassroots, and people will appreciate that such a small movie is hitting so many levels hard, and we'll, this time next year, it'll be interesting to see where I'm at. I have other projects ready to go, but I see it through first. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. We're here with Kely McClung. One more time, tell us the name of your movie and when can we expect to actually see a finished production?
The film will be 100%. KERBEROS will be finished by December, and then we'll start hitting the festival circuit to start with. And then eventually we'll do a big premiere here. Maybe a Hollywood premiere as well.
I get an invite?
You do, of course. I mean, that's not even a question. Of course.
I'll be there.
Good.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in with us today, and we'll see you next time on RULE Hollywood.